I'm Dr. Philipe Reinisch. It's a great pleasure being here. I'm the Managing Director of SilkRoad 4.0. We are a global venture accelerator, so we connect technology experts around the world from different domains to make more meaningful and more impactful projects. So IDSF is an amazing platform that combines different expertise from different fields: technology, policymaking, research, social societies. What IDSF is trying to achieve is to connect international players. And this is where we come in with our global network. We are currently present in more than 23 cities around the world, rapidly growing. Also with a very strong footprint in Pakistan. It's a great honor to have you with us. And that is also our offering to the IDSF organizers to increase the global footprint of the IDSF. So the vision with the Global Future Summit is to bring together experts from technology and innovation. So I'm an engineer. And interestingly, it turned out that as an engineer, when I manage a project, I spend, let's say, 5%, 10% of my time in the engineering field. But when running a project, I spend most of the time in the social science world, meaning I do something like stakeholder analysis, marketing, communication. These are not really technical fields. So it turns out that as an engineer, you are trained to think as an engineer, but actually you're working in a totally different field. The larger the projects get, you actually end up in the policy world. So what happened to me several times during the project that I was honored to lead was that I spent, let's say, 5% in engineering work, 60% in the social science world, and then 35% in the governance world. And that's very interesting because those domains, they're not compatible with each other. The language you use is totally different. An engineer, you're focused on problems, whereas a social scientist, you think in qualities, whereas a policymaker and a lawyer, they think in impact and in regulations. The Global Future Summit is taking place in November. It will be the 25th anniversary event. It will bring together experts from the AI world and the healthcare world. So the idea is to find experts who are leading in their field and having a global perspective. So it is a very important dimension to bring in the global south, countries and experts from underrepresented regions together with established experts from those traditional developed countries. And what's so unique about our Global Future Summit, the event is taking place in all the locations at the same time as an on-site event. So we are really bringing local communities together. Last time we did it in 23 locations. And then we bring them together with a common goal, a common vision, and a common purpose to create better and more meaningful global projects. The problem with connecting is two dimensions. One is you try to connect apparently not fitting parts. And then you always have to make those pieces matching and to see how you can actually find a way that pieces that are a little bit different, how can we focus on the things that are overlapping? And that's the second dimension. Because in a time where everyone is focusing on negativity, on bad news, fake news, doubting everything, how can we start with trust as a base? Let's assume that the other person is not the person, but let's assume that there is a genuine human interest to communicate on a high level. And I think that's the biggest challenge nowadays, because if you look at social media, if you look at movies, if you look at news, you will find heaps of negative news that really you don't want to continue reading when you see all those news. And to keep the good spirit, the good intention, the good faith, that's so important. And if we can make the world a better place with the Global Future Summit, then let it be. I would like to encourage people to stay humble. So especially once you follow a career path, you think you're an expert in your field and you think you're right and you know everything. Turns out once you have a different perspective, you realize very quickly that actually you have only one piece of the puzzle, and that it's not necessarily the right answer. Maybe there are several answers. None of them are better or worse, just a different perspective. And that's my call to the global audience. Stay humble, stay curious, and let's co-create.
So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. My name is Dr. Farhat Asif. I'm the founder president of the Institute of Peace and Diplomatic Studies. We have Institute of Peace and Diplomatic Studies, the Diplomatic Insight. We're also media partner to IDSF, which is a great honor for us coming from Global South, from Pakistan, to be here. It gives us an honor to present our voices and share the stage with eminent scholars, especially related to the Digital Security Forum, which has given us the opportunity not only to talk about what is the challenges that are facing by the global north, but also global south. And there's a need for the communities working on the digital security to come down together to address the issues which are very much important for the countries which are facing a lot of bigger challenges. For example, like countries like Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, and the region across. And since we are at the receiving end of the policies and frameworks, I think it's a very important, and IDSF has given us the opportunity to be here. And I do hope that and organizers of the forum, especially the Austrian Institute of Technology, has opened up and built this space for diverse voices. I have met several partners, scholars, colleagues who had shared their stage. I was part of one of the panel as well, where we were discussing about the peace tech, which is a very important step towards building technology, towards peace building, and how technology can help leverage and reach to the places where human footprints are challenging or where the security risks are more. So peace tech can help us to embed our and support those communities in a much better manner. So we have discussed about the challenges and of course the opportunities that the technology is offering us. So this is such an important times that we are living, especially in the age where artificial intelligence is building up and not only offers us opportunities but at the same time challenges. So it's a diverse platform, a global stage where we all are sharing the same sentiments about helping the communities. And I think that when you meet people at such global forums, your ideas or your bias is also reduced because you meet people and you understand that what the media is showing, for example, or what others, the way of looking at others has also shaped. So I am so fortunate enough to share all those information and of course the talks that have been done to the people who are part of our group and network. So it's an honor. What had been my aha moment during this entire forum was that how you have to reach out to the others. That sometimes we believe that okay, there's always a door shut, but I think that there's always a door open, and there are always people who are ready to listen to you. And there's not what we were discussing during the time period is that there's always a chance to share your voice, and people are there to hear you. And what has been the challenge for the the people who are not ready to welcome the voices. But I think that But for me, which was not only a great thing, learning, is that people are always open to receive the information, and it is not that they are closed their doors. But I think that in our regions where I am coming from, people believe that okay, if we say something that there will be a bias and something like that. But I think that if you present yourself in a better way and you can communicate well, you can share you can present yourself well, and you can present present your voice in a better way, I think that people are ready to listen to you, and people are always welcome you in their offices, in their doors open always. So I think that is for me, being a very optimistic person coming from, and especially a woman in such a forum, I think that it's very important to learn and share with people, young people who are just following us as well, saying that okay, there's always a door open for all of us to, and of course we should not close those doors. I believe that after this conference, the discussions are happening. So I think that what is important is that all the panel discussions that are happening, I think that being present here, what I'm expecting from the IDSF is that in the next IDSF and the 5th will be happening, I expect more voices coming from the global south countries who are at the receiving end, but at the same time they are contributing to the voices, to the data, to the governance issues, to the sovereignty issues, especially to the security issues. I think that those voices will be added more value to the conversation that are happening. And then another very important expectation of mine is that the conversation about the security related matters, which is of course challenging for the South Asia perspective. As you must know that we recently had a huge conflict between both India and Pakistan. I think that the voices from both sides or larger South Asia, they can come over and discuss about how digital security is not only challenge but at the same time offering us opportunity as well. So these forums, they can open up to the new avenues, new regions, and my expectation is that. So again, I would say that it's. I would tell to the people that of course you can learn from the experiences of the people who are talking, and of course the forum will be available online as well. The talks of the people, presentations of the people, their conversation, what they had discussed, they will be available online. And I think that the young people, of course, they can study those speeches and the conversation that they did. And of course, I will, when I go back home, I say that, okay, I have not only represented Pakistan, but the South Asian region as such a global stage. And I think that what I will share with people is that there's, again, door open for all of us to sit down together as a community, as a humanity, so that the challenges that are hitting us will be resolved in an inclusive manner, which is a very important aspect that I would like to share with all of the people that will be following me or our work there in Pakistan or in South Asia. Disinformation, I think, is one of the biggest challenges that the countries and communities are facing. Disinformation has, and related to especially digital security matter, disinformation has created such a challenge to us in the regions that we are living in, but also at the global stage as well. For example, the disinformation that has been created between India and Pakistan, the conflict was flaring up to such a huge level. I mean, we were at the brink of the nuclear war as a result of this disinformation war that was going on. And I think that every conflict, disinformation is the one that creates more inflammation to the conflicts. And of course the security challenge, disinformation, I think that, and through digital security frameworks, steps and information, if we can create some joint platforms where this disinformation can be reduced, I think that this challenge can be tackled in a better manner. But of course, disinformation is not only related to digital security, but also disinformation is about regarding the presentation of ethnicity, for example, other nations, how the countries, people who are living, for example, in South Asia or in countries in Pakistan or people living here in Austria, for example. So disinformation between both sides can be reduced through positive media engagement, positive reporting, positive sharing of the information. This I think that can be one of the biggest challenges, I believe, is that. I'm so honored to partner with your media house and your this International Digital Security Forum, and something that is amazing for me, that my community and my people who are watching us, who are listening to us, it's amazing that you only need to ask and you only need to represent and engage with people. And I think that such a positivity that I'm surrounded with at the IDSF, and everyone is so welcoming and everyone is so supportive, that I really love, and I'm so honored to be here at this forum. Thank you.
The topic of our presentation was to basically share with the audience some thoughts on how we could amend what is called our global governance architecture, the institutions and the mechanisms that we use for international cooperation. This is absolutely essential if we're going to be able to address the many complex global problems that we face today, which are our threat to our future. Climate change, the arms race, inequality, poverty. So I wanted to put before the audience some ideas as to how we could go about strengthening our mechanisms of international cooperation. I think that events like this one, this Digital Security Forum, are a great opportunity for connecting with other organizations who are working on some of these same concerns. Right, technological change, which is the overriding theme on, for digital security, is transforming the world, and it is doing it in response to the profit motive. It is doing it in response to human creativity, and those are, largely positive trends. But it's also creating many problems for us, such as disinformation, such as the spread of the mechanisms of information distribution, which in some places are undermining democracy. And this then it brings us back to the issue of governance. How do we come up with rules and with institutions which are going to protect the good that we have achieved over the last several decades, and we can build on those rather than undermine and destroy the institutions that we have, such as democracy. I have been attending these conferences for many, many years, and one of the great benefits of these conferences is the opportunity for what I call important conversations, meaningful conversations, where you come into contact with people who are working on similar issues. You become familiar with their work, you exchange ideas, you build relationships, and many of those actually can be very fruitful in the future. I am here in this conference today because I met one of the organizers in a similar conference, some months ago. As a result of those interactions, we have become friends, and we're working together on a number of issues. Right? So bringing in people together from different backgrounds, all of them intelligent, all of them working, with passion, with dedication, promoting their particular ideas, is a great opportunity for exchange, for conversation, and for strengthening cooperation. I think that the message that I take away from this is that we, civil society organizations in particular, need to work together. At the moment, the main mechanisms of improving the international cooperation are being led by civil society. They are not led by governments. There has been a massive change in the last several decades. If you go back to 1945 and the creation or the adoption of the UN Charter, that was largely a government initiative. Today, when you think at the main initiatives of international cooperation, the creation of International Criminal Court, the treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons, the landmines treaty of a couple of decades ago, all of these initiatives have been led by civil society. Governments are too busy dealing with the crisis today. They don't have the time, they don't have the energy, they don't have the predisposition to think about the long-term future. So who's going to do that for us? It'll have to be ourselves. And a conference like this bringing, dozens of organizations together, is a way of strengthening that process, is a way of building those partnerships so that we can then begin to put pressure on governments so that they can do the innovations and the reforms that are necessary. If we don't do this, we, civil society, if we don't do this, nobody's going to do it. And then what? Then we face crisis after crisis after crisis. The problem is that in a world that has become so interdependent, in which technology is such a powerful force, right? We run risks. We are entering dangerous territory. If we don't address the challenges of climate change, we're going to have huge crises, huge problems that are going to bring a great deal of pain and suffering to humanity. Therefore, we don't have a lot of time. There is a narrow window of opportunity, and a conference like this is an opportunity to build on those relationships and to try to get some reforms underway.